Hey, Loco sports fans. Justin Jarrett here with Marcus Walsh from WHHI TV. And it's Tuesday night. It's playoff week. It's Cinco de Mayo. And we got a lot to talk about tonight. A full slate. We had girls soccer, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 local teams in action in girls soccer. 3 boys soccer teams, a lacrosse team, good God, a bunch of baseball teams. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 baseball teams, and then 5 playoff softball teams, as well as a couple other skis of games regular season. So just a ton of stuff to talk about. And on top of that, we're going to have BJ Payne jumping in with us here in just a few minutes to preview his All-American football camp coming up on Saturday, which is absolutely like the coolest high school football camp in America.
It actually starts Friday.
Oh, Friday.
Friday 5 to 8, Saturday 9 to noon, Sunday 9 to noon.
There you go. Greatest camp in all the land.
Awesome.
And he's going to come and tell us about all the great people who are going to be there. And it's an impressive list. So you're going to want to hear from BJ. Wes will be along shortly as well. He was out at the Nest where it was an exciting night, and I'm sure BJ will have something to say about that. The Seahawks rallying to win. It was a tight game throughout with Lakewood. The baseball team came back and won 8-7, right, was the final. The walk-off for the Seahawks that Wes will be telling us about here in a little bit by Javac. I don't know that guy. New name to me, but I look forward to hearing more about how he was able to lift the Seahawks to a big win. They weren't the only ones. A couple of other teams getting big wins tonight. May River rallying past South Florence with 3 in the bottom of the 7th to win 3-2. So just a couple of the highlights there, but we'll get into all that in just a bit. But how you doing, Marcus?
I'm good, yeah. Very busy day. Work stuff yesterday, and today more on the home front. Taking care of a couple of things with work from beyond the station, but always a busy time during the spring, whether you're working or getting after it with the stuff that I'm certainly preparing for within the next year that everybody knows about for sure by now. So everything is good for sure. Wish my Cleveland Guardians could score another couple of runs. That's kind of frustrating.
Yeah, no doubt.
Back in a cooker where they're not scoring more than 2 or 3 runs a game, and that's not going to win you very many games.
Cavs are still in it. Pete Crow just got a rope. I don't call him Crow Armstrong. I call him Pete Crow.
Yeah, there you go.
He's a dominant player, between Pete and Crow instead of Crow and Armstrong. It's more fun that way. Our guest has entered the studio, BJ Payne, but we'll hold off on him for just a minute while I tell you about our all-star sponsors and our presenting sponsors of the LowcoSports Lowdown. Mickelson Law Firm, been with us since the beginning. They're our official real estate closing attorney, presenting sponsor of our Hilton Head Christian Academy coverage. And the Eagles had a great win in the opening round of the boys soccer playoffs tonight, 8-0 over Northside Christian, and they have a huge baseball game tomorrow night at the Cage against Augusta Christian, the rematch. So should be a good time over there. And shout out to Mickelson Law Firm for helping us out and being our presenting sponsor of our Hilton Head Christian Academy coverage. Marcus Walsh, you're a proud member of the staff over at WHHI TV, our all-star sponsor and partner in local sports coverage. And we love working with you guys on all fronts. And certainly we've gotten it all tangled up now.
Yes, no doubt about it.
We're all tied up now. We're in cahoots now, so you can't
tangled web we weave.
Yeah, indeed. But it's great partnership, and we love having you guys on board. We love when you're able to join us, and I know you're excited to be with us tonight because we got probably our most popular recurring guest, maybe. I don't know how you would categorize it, but certainly a popular guest, one we've had on a number of times to talk about
one of my favorite
number of subjects, and he can hold court on just about anything, and that's Hilton Head High School football coach BJ Payne, former WWF. Was that pre-E? Was that pre-E, Payne?
No, I was actually there during the transition.
Okay.
I was there at the Monday Night Raw in Cleveland when we had the big meeting backstage, and Vince had bought WCW. And but yes, I was also there. Sorry, drifted off. I was also there whenever the transition happened after the World Wildlife Federation lawsuits.
Yeah.
Right. Yep. So anyway, that was your introduction.
Are we doing this again?
What? What's
There's
that?
No way.
What's wrong?
We're here, Coach.
Hello?
You can't hear us?
We can hear you loud and clear, Coach.
What? We're good.
I don't think so.
I think he's got the gremlins. Oh, there he goes.
Could.
He got the gremlins. So we'll give it another shot. But Wes sliding in the back door after a big win over at the Nest, and we told him a little bit about it, but certainly an exciting night for the Seahawks. It was a little dicey, but they pulled it off in the end.
Yeah, a crazy game. I mean, really, Hilton Head, this shouldn't have been particularly close. I mean, you talk about just the mistakes, the walks, the free passes that they gave up throughout this game. I mean, that's exactly what you can't have in the postseason, especially, after what happened last night. But Zibanjevic playing the hero, Seahawks down by a run heading to the bottom of the seventh, and down to their final out. Jevic with a laser double to the left, scoring the 2 runs, the tying and the winning run. And just really feel good for those seniors, especially Zeban. I mean, what a way to make your mark, in a possible final home game that's delivered like that with 2 outs in the 7th inning. And tremendous game. Credit to Lakewood. Their pitcher was outstanding, and they delivered quite a fight. I mean, their lineup was just really scrappy. It kind of reminded me of that Greer team that came all the way from the upper state. It just battled. This was a very good 4 seed in this district tournament. Certainly gave Hilton all they could handle, and then some in this one. But credit to the Seahawks for battling back. They were up 4-0, and then gave up 4 to tie. It was just a back and forth game, a long one that took nearly took over 2.5 hours to get through. But Hilton Head living to fight another day is Zibanjevic, the senior, who has been really an unsung hero of this team, coming through late. Zach Shipshack was a quality performance on the mound late to keep it at that time, to keep it a 1-run game and keep it a 1-run margin to give Hilton a chance to come back. But just a gutsy win to keep your season alive, and now they have to make the trek back up to Gilbert, try to get some revenge on that tough loss on Monday. They get a day off, but back at it on Thursday. So that's the beauty of it. You get another chance to get back at Gilbert and see what they can do. And just heck of an effort, but certainly you wish it wasn't as close as it was, but still, a nice response to find a way to win it with 1 out left.
Yes, sir. And BJ is back. What's up, buddy? You guys, you good?
Yeah. I think I got it figured out now. I think this time it wasn't my internet acting up. It's like it's 2012 for me all over again. I now have AirPods. I'm like, so it's like it's 2012 again. I got like an Apple Watch, like my phone. I had the iPhone 10. I had the X. All of my kids made fun of me every day in the classes and all of our players, but I'm getting old now. Like I told you earlier, Justin, I'm getting old. Like I'm a creature of habit. So now I got the iPhone 17, and with that, I got the free watch. They were able to take my old phone and put a second line on it. I got some AirPods now, and so all this technology, I'm struggling with. Like the AirPods dying, I'm like, it shouldn't be dying because it's charged. So I'm getting old. I turned 50 in June, and I'm starting to catch up with me.
I hear you, brother. I'm 48, so I'm knocking on the door, and I definitely feel it a little more all the time. But my back's aching a little bit right now, if I'm being honest. But were you over at the ball game tonight for the Seahawks walk-off victory?
So actually, I was not, because I was back here for this, and I had obviously been doing stuff all night, taking care of stuff for a camp, and Cassius, who just turned 12 yesterday, has become Marcus will appreciate this. He's become a big Cavs fan.
Love it.
So I have run the stretch with him on Cavs games, and then He's also a big Pirates fan, and so we watch every Carmen start. So,
Of course.
so do that, and so I was not there, but ironically, at the same time, my phone dinged, and Dr. Williams, Angie Williams, updated me that Zeben had a walk-off double with 2 on and 2 out to win the game for him.
Yep. Great win for the Seahawks. You mentioned you're getting ready for a camp. Is there some kind of a camp going on this weekend?
I guess, supposedly, allegedly.
Pretty big one, right?
Yeah.
No,
so
what year is this for the?
So this is official. I think last year I was misquoted or somebody misinformed, but this is officially year number 20.
20, yeah.
Huh.
It's year 20 for you. It's also year 20 of high school football on WHHI TV this year as well.
Great combination. That means
Absolutely
Marcus. That means Marcus, when you go, I go, or when I go, you go. We got to do this in pairs.
Well, it's the 3-3-0 way to go, Coach.
Yeah, or
You know that.
And adding to the 3-3-0. Let me just touch base on this. I don't know if you know this or not, but our new athletic director, Evan Moxie, who we have hired, signed his contract as a done deal to come be our AD. He is a Golden Eagle from Glen Oak High School.
Glen Oak, no kidding.
He's the only one that I can. He's the only one that I can say plain local to, who actually understands it. He pulled into the school last week. He's currently finished out his tenure as the AD at Boylan Springs, and he pulled in this big, long, white truck. And I said, "Man, that's not a Plain Township truck. That's an East Canton truck." But now all my Stark County references, besides just you, I can listen. We've had some
another guy in your.
We've had some intense conversations about Krause's Pizza. But just to touch on that really quick, and Justin, I can hold court in several different ways, but I'll say this. So the correlation with Evan Moxie as our new AD, Coach Moxie, is incredible because. So I graduated from Massillon High School. My head coach was Jack Rose. He graduated from Glen Oak High School. His head coach was Jack Rose. He graduated from Glen Oak in 2001. My first teaching and coaching job when I left wrestling with my injury was at Glen Oak High School.
No kidding.
Yeah, but we never crossed paths. Never did anything until literally.
Wild.
I had heard so many great things about him as AD, looked at his application and his resume, and it was, it just wows you. And then literally the night before the interviews, like I'm just flipping through like who we're interviewing, and I see plain local schools. I'm like, this can't be Ohio. And then I realized that Canton Glen Oak graduate, but he graduated from there 3 years before I started teaching and coaching there. That's where I was an assistant coach at. Never crossed paths. I just remember we had a grizzled old O-line coach named Chuck Steiner that used to say, "We need kids tough like Moxie." And I just always remember that. So that name always kind of rang a bell. And then hearing
it's a great last name. I mean, it's
and hearing all of his success as an AD, and like I said, he came through from tons of rave reviews, and everybody that was on that interview committee will tell you this. It's almost like anything else. Like you guys know in sports, you go to see a team, and are they going to live up to the hype? His resume and everything that had been told about him was so impressive that when he left the interview room, we all looked at each other, and I was like, man, I can't believe we just interviewed somebody who lived up to the hype. That's a hard thing. And you guys all know from interviewing people for jobs or different things, for somebody to live out to that expectation you have of them, because you don't know how that's going to go. Absolutely incredible. But anyway, we got another Stark County guy that him and I have had major discussions on Krause's Pizza, and somebody who gets it. And the one thing that I told Coach Moxie is we all love Joe. Joe did such a phenomenal job.
Yep. No doubt.
But we still have, and Wes, this as an alum there, and you guys know this. I think that, where we were continuing to go with Joe every year, we still have that
Right.
room where there's a buffer to continue to improve.
I mean,
and those are the things that, Coach Moxie can get us to that next level in several different aspects that are just going to be new for Hilton Head. And they're not new across the state. They're not even, new in some Beaufort County schools, but some things that we're going to do to help us to even the playing field so that we can be where we need to be as an athletics program. I'm not just talking football. I'm talking every single sports program to get us where we need to be.
Yeah, and it takes a village, it takes everyone. But I just think you mentioned Joe Valmier. I think the culture that he established is still here, and I think that you look at who you want to be that next guy, and I think that Moxie certainly has those correct mindsets that you need to continue that mom in your culture, and I think that is going to continue to be here, and I think yourself a big part of that as someone who has really taken this football program to great heights, especially with what happened last year, and the anticipation of next season. I'm sure that you have a lot of positive thoughts as you have mentioned, but just talk about the culture that Mom and you established and how you think that yourself and Coach Moxie now at the helm and really this entire athletic program is working to continue that winning culture that Mom and you laid down for so many years.
I think the biggest thing with Joe is Joe had realistic expectations as an athletic director. We're kind of landlocked where we're at, and you guys kind of know that. We'll get occasionally each sport. We'll get some kids that come in from somewhere else, or we'll get a kid from prep or Christian Academy, but we don't have the massive movements that a lot of schools have. And at the end of the day, it's high school sports. You're coaching what's walking your halls, and there's going to be years where it's really good, and there's going to be years where it's really bad. So people, always ask me, they're like, "Hey, how are you guys as a football program?" I'm like, "Shoot, I mean, when we got talent, we're pretty good. When we don't have talent, we're not very good. And that's the way it always is. It's truly about the Jimmies and the Joes, and not the X's and the O's. And that was the one thing that Joe understood. I think the one thing that Joe always had coaches' backs, especially in certain situations where, if it was, you're not everybody's going to always be happy, right, with outcomes and parent involvement and coaches. But Joe had a way of rationalizing that and finding the middle. And I will tell you this. Here's the one thing that they both got in common, though, is as the kids say nowadays, low key. Coach Moxie is a big lacrosse guy, even though his background is, he won like 5 state championships as a wrestling coach. His oldest son, Braden, is a major lacrosse dude, and he's 12 years old. So that lax component is still going to be there in Hilton Head.
Yes, fantastic.
It's good to know.
That's good. Yeah. That sport's it's blowing up. Like May River's got it going on right now with with that Rush Club coming in and McCardle being involved there, which is super cool. To have an active PLL player who's starting a club in our town is just unbelievably cool. And this is a place where we get those kinds of things, where we have former WWE wrestlers coaching the football team. It's a weird place like that, but it's also a place that you can pull some stuff off because of where we are, and you've managed to pull off another incredible coup. With your camp counselor list, your coach list for the All-American Football Camp 20th anniversary, and best list ever. I mean, we got like top 5 draft picks in this thing, right?
Yeah, I mean, Tay Johnson's a bona fide top 5 pick next year. Sneed, when he got his answers back from the NFL this year, obviously, he's the local kid. Jalen's draft prognosis was very good. He wanted to come back because he truly wants to be a first-round pick. There were several NFL teams, and I'm going to say more than 6, who gave his draft grade back at that he would be, a second-round pick this year. But across the board, then you got Brandon Cisse coming, Rodrigo Blankenship coming back. Peyton Pierce, for the Ohio State fans, Peyton was the one that we kind of knew last year was going to be a guy, and then he came out, balled out, and did what he did at Ohio State last year. And then just across the board, all the guys, Mylan Graham, who was a 5-star, transferred from Ohio State to Notre Dame. But then you got Rodney Dunham, who's a young kid. Rodney's similar to Riley Pettijohn last year. The kid's 17. It just turned 18. And he's going to be a major player at Notre Dame as an edge rusher. So just absolutely love it. And the wild card's always, is Puna going to be here? I don't know. So every year Puna shows up, and I'm always like, you didn't tell me you were coming. And he's like, you sent me the dates, didn't you? And I say, yeah. And he said, that's because Puna's the only one that's a little bit different, right? Like, we don't fly Puna in. He doesn't let us do any of that. He flies himself in. So last year I put him on all the flyers, and then he couldn't make it. And then so I talked to him on the Sunday. I was like, hey, you didn't make it for camp. And he said, well, it was my daughter's dance recital in Atlanta. And oh man, of course, go to that. Just let me know so I don't put you on the flyer. So actually Cage, my son is like, hey, you don't have to put on the flyer. I was like, well, it's a bonus, if he comes. I'm no guarantee. I'm so, and this isn't a Puna Ford. This is the Sonny Michel, Nick Chubb rule. Where many years ago, when they were at Georgia 8 years ago, the night before camp, they called us and said, hey, we're not coming, but we'll sign some T-shirts and send them to you guys. So I am not a fan of Nick Chubb and Sonny Michel because everything we do here is for the kids. And I think that's the biggest thing. That's why these guys continue to come back. And that's why Dexter Lawrence has done the camp 7 times, and Christian Wilkins Rodrigo Blankenship, Tristan Wirfs, all those guys, because they come to work with the kids. And a lot of times they don't even want to do the media aspect. Like, hey man, I just want to work with the kids. Like, I don't want to do media and promote this. Like, I just want to work with kids. And that's the biggest thing. I mean, Brandon Cisse, and just circle back, but I'm literally like, it's the day before night 1 of WrestleMania, like 2 or 3 weeks ago. I'm in Las Vegas. Paige and I had gone somewhere. Actually, if you remember the wrestler D'Lo Brown, D'Lo's was the one who brought me into the business. D'Lo was at WrestleCon, went to see him. We're on our way back, and Brandon Cisse FaceTimes me. So just to tell you that story, he played in the North-South game the year I coached in it. Him and I built an incredible bond that week and has stayed in touch throughout. So Brandon FaceTimes me, and he's like, hey, I'm going to be in Hilton Head. Where are some places we need to eat? By the way, when's camp? So then he FaceTimes me again after the draft, after we were texting about the draft, and I was like, hey, man, congrats, man. 2nd round pick. That's awesome. He goes, forget all that. When's camp? And I said, it's May 8th through the 10th. And he was like, perfect. My rookie mini camp with the Packers is May 1st through the 3rd. I'll be there. And I said, are you sure? Don't you need to get a place? And he was like, nope, I'm going to be back in Sumter, and I'm driving down. And so, like I said, incredible. But those guys come back. They want to work with the kids. I think we do a tremendous job of taking care of them. We don't let people bring in helmets to sign and stuff like that. We let them work with kids. And that at the end of the day, that's what they want to do. And for the kids, that's beneficial. And the kids, behave and, enjoy it. I think right now we're right around 140 kids signed up.
That's great.
And it was a tough weekend, and it was a tough call for us because just for anybody listening, I had one parent who emailed, and I think she probably thought she was emailing like the rec center, like a general inbox, and not realize it came to me. And she was like, wow, you couldn't have picked a worse date. What a terrible decision by you. You picked Mother's Day weekend. And what people don't understand is the pieces that go into this, right? Like, we have to plan this in January.
Yep.
Well, the weekend that we always run it, and we've always run it, is the weekend before Memorial Day. Well, number one, Memorial Day's earlier this year.
Yep.
But the weekend before Memorial Day this year is NC State and Notre Dame's graduation weekend. Well, guess who's graduating from Notre Dame? Jalen Sneed.
Yep.
Yes.
So, Jalen's one of the many guys who's taken this camp on like it's his own. And Jalen pushes those Notre Dame guys to come here and work with our kids.
Right.
So if we don't have Jalen, who else don't we have? Then
Exactly.
Duke Scott is at
Bunch of
NC
guys.
State. Duke Scott's graduating
There you
from
go.
NC State. We lose Duke Scott. So that's kind of the piece to the puzzle there. And obviously, I was very fortunate when I married. Number one, I married up. I outkicked my coverage. But number two, Paige was like, I'm a little bit different, but I'm a sports mom, right? Like I'm a boy mom. So for me, the greatest Mother's Day gift I could have is sit in the bleachers and watch my kids play with NFL and college football players.
Absolutely.
And then she went on to tirade about it's Mother's Day, not Mother's Weekend. And I kind of let her have that moment to herself. But then, I explained that to the parent. I told him, I said, look, we can't, there's going to, in this part of the country, in the Low Country, specifically Beaufort County, you are going to have conflict every weekend from March until June.
Look, I'll
two weekends for Heritage. You got Seafood Fest, you got Wine Fest, you got Wing Fest, you got Derby weekend, which people are still throwing Derby parties. You just had Yacht Hop this past weekend. And I know all those because our football team volunteers for all those. But there's going to be conflict every weekend, and they said, I explained that to the lady. She said, by the way, in case you didn't know, Mayfest is that Saturday too. And I said, I get it. I also know that Mayfest is from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Our camp ends at noon. So you can still make it Mayfest or not to sound, but just say it. Wait, then I'm sorry it doesn't work for you. Just don't bring your kid. Maybe next year it will. But next year we're back to normal schedule. We already know. Next year is May 21st to the 23rd, but it is what it is for this year. And
correct.
I have to make it work so that we have 5 Notre Dame guys here, including one kid that we know is, as long as everything stays healthy, is going to be a top 5 pick. We got 4 guys from NC State, of which I love the fact that Will Wilson's coming, who we all watched play as a JV quarterback as a 7th grader at Battery Creek for his dad before his dad took the Richland Northeast job. And to have the opportunity to bring him back down here and work with the kids and Cage being, the guy that every year would get excited for this camp like Cassius because he wanted to hang out with all the stars. And now he gets to be the guy that they looked up to.
Right.
It's pretty cool. But like I said, it's not going to be perfect. This weekend is Buccaneers mini camp. So Billy Schrouth, who's done the camp last 2 years, will be at Buccaneers mini camp. And in case you guys don't know this, Gaston Moore will be at Tampa Bay Buccaneers rookie mini camp.
Oh, fantastic.
Really?
Nice.
So they had him in for the local tryout. He blew it away, out through everybody there, including 2 NFL free agents. And so he got invited to rookie mini camp. So really excited about Gaston.
What a great opportunity for
That's
Gaston.
incredible.
Well deserved for him. One of the guys who I really enjoyed getting to know, interviewing when I first started here at LowcoSports. So good for him. And it's gotta feel good to see these kids that you mentored and you coached. You get all these kinds of opportunities because I just feel like it's gotten better and better and better in terms of seeing a bunch of your fellow players excelling at the college level, excelling at the pro level, and that people are starting to really understand that Hilton Head has been able to produce some tremendous football players. And I just want to hear your thoughts on continuing to see guys shine at these advanced levels of the game and how cool it's been for you to be able to contribute to what they've been doing.
It's awesome. And Justin and I have talked in depth about this over the years, and we've talked about it on this podcast is, probably a long time ago, probably 15 years ago, my why in this industry, business, life, whatever you want to call it, changed. I'm not saying it can never happen, but it's going to be in the reality of things, just because of where you have to go. I may never win a state championship, but I can make a difference in kids' lives. I can help mold them into where they're going. I can give kids opportunity or show them the pathway to get to a place to change their life forever. And not just their life, but change their entire family's life forever. But he talks about it. But like Puna, when I got here, Puna thought he was going to the Marines. Puna was a Mike linebacker, and I told him, listen, you can play on Sundays, and you will be a high school American and a major D1 player if you let me move you to 3-tech. Puna said okay and did it. But just giving those kids those opportunities, and many of our kids, like Chris Marable's got finals, he can't come back. Troy's got finals, can't come back. As you know, like I said earlier, got a new phone. So Justin, as you know, I reached out to you today about Jaden. Then I talked to Jaden. Jaden doesn't get back till Saturday night. Jaden isn't even one of our kids. May River kid, probably by far the best guy we've had work camp the last 2 years. He is incredible. The kids love him. The families love him. He does an amazing job. The Jaden Jones, let me get the full name for all Beaufort County fans.
Yeah, Jaden Jones, Morehouse.
Jaden Jones, running back at Morehouse and played at May River, has done the camp the last 2 years and done a phenomenal job with it. Shai Thompson is coming back from Coastal. We were able to secure that commitment today. So I just love the fact that these guys, I think we've done it the right way to where these guys want to come back. They want to get back.
Exactly.
They want to help the next level. The Gator football program came back last year, first time in 5 years. And, a couple of the age brackets kind of struggled a little bit, but now, they started these Gator off-season workouts like every other Friday at Barker Field. They're averaging 80 kids. We have at least 12 high school football players that go down every other Friday to work with them. And Jeff Fink is one of the guys in charge. Jeff Fink was the guy who's living on the island now that I actually tried to hire about 4 years ago. He's a former offense coordinator at Menor High School. He was the offense coordinator there when Trubisky was there. Offense coordinator John Carroll. So he's running the Gator program now, which is absolutely huge and phenomenal for us. Just getting all the kids excited and hopefully continuing to feed off the success we had last year.
I think I've talked to you about this before, Coach, but I definitely want to broach this question again because of the fact that we're talking about all the Ohio connections. Year 20 of this camp, but it did not start for all the success that you have had here. It did not start here. It started in Ohio. So talk about how you were able to orchestrate all of that all those years ago, start to make those connections there, and then bring it here when you guys moved here.
So that's a pretty incredible story. So I'm an assistant coach at Glen Oak High School, defensive line coach. I get my first head coaching job at Lexington, Ohio. I was an assistant coach at Glen Oak for 3 years. Same school Evan Moxie went to. I go to Lexington. My first year there, I bring in 4 Glen Oak alums to work the camp. A kid named Nick Palmer, who went to Illinois. A kid named Brandon Long that went to Michigan State. Sorry, 5. Nick Smith, who went to Michigan State. And then 2 guys that people are pretty familiar with. One's name's Mike Hartline, and the other one is Brian Hartline. So those 5 come to work the camp, and they're all at their colleges. They're all freshmen. So Hartline now is obviously the head coach at USF. His brother Mike is the quarterbacks coach there for him now. So we get to year 2. We get to year 2 there, and Brian calls me, and he was like, "Hey, will you take more guys for camp?" And I'm like, "Sure." He was like, "Well, I got a bunch of Buckeyes that want to come up with me." And I'm like, "Sure, Brian, who you got?" And he's like, Kirk Coleman wants to come. James Laurinaitis wants to come. Marcus Freeman wants to come. Todd Beckman wants to come. And he starts naming all these guys. I'm like, it's like the entire Ohio State, starting lineup. Yep. And and I say this in all seriousness, and this is not a knock to this area at all. Marcus knows this from Ohio. It is Ohio State and nothing else.
Right.
Beaufort County, you got Ohio State fans, you got South Carolina fans, you got Georgia fans, and you have Clemson.
You got everybody. You got Florida fans. You got
but those are the main 4. In Ohio, there is nothing else.
There's no number 2.
No. So we have all those guys year 2. Year 3, it becomes the same thing. I love telling this story because just because of the impact it had, but there were several guys, and I won't say who, but they were top players for Ohio State who were drafted that did that camp that told me that if I ever brought Terrell Pryor to that camp, they would never do the camp again. Their own teammate that kind of gave the writing on the wall of what type of kid Terrell Pryor was. And all those guys know as well. I still call them now. Brian Hartline was Mylan Graham's receivers coach at Ohio State last year. So I called B. Hart and I was like, hey, Brian, you got a minute? He was like, yeah. I was like, tell me about Mylan Graham. Because he knows the type of kid that I'm looking for to come work this camp and to build relationships with kids. And so I check in with all those guys and, I'll call Freeman. Hey, these couple of guys want to do camp with Snead. Good. And he's like, yep, because Freeman did the camp for 6 years himself. Yeah. So it kind of blossomed there. And then we had a kid, Courtney Avery. This is when the camp got real dynamic. We had a kid, Courtney Avery, who actually spurned the state of Ohio and signed with University of Michigan. Went to Michigan and started there 4 years, was a team captain, defensive back. And so what does Courtney do? Coach, I'm coming to camp. I'm bringing some teammates. So now we got Devin Gardner coming. We got Denard Robinson coming. We got all these guys from Michigan. So it became like 6 Michigan guys, 6 Ohio State guys. So we took care of it all. Great dynamic with all those guys because a lot of times people don't realize the rivalry is not with the kids, it's with the fans.
Right.
So they always got along great with the kids and in front of the kids. And so that's where it progressed and then came down here and then, had to, reach the connections of, the very first year, Courtney Avery still came down. Some of my old players that were playing college and some buddies who were coaching like Marcus at Purdue and Bobby Johnson, who was coaching at the time, maybe for the Buffalo Bills, came down. We got it jump started and then very fortunate and being able to land some guys that were probably a reach. The biggest one, depending on, but at the time, we know how big Trevor was here, but Deshaun Watson. And he was massive. And Mike Williams was coming to do the camp. And I had talked to the coaches at Clemson, and they were like, no, Deshaun can't do it. Mike can do it, something else. Mike Williams calls me, and he was like, hey, coach, you didn't want Deshaun to do the camp? And I was like, oh, I would love for Deshaun to do the camp. And he goes, he's in the car with me right now. He says he wants to do it. So Deshaun gets on the phone. I thought it was a joke at first. And he was like, no, listen, those coaches just want me to go to some alumni golf outing and shake people's hands. I'd rather come work with kids. So I will be at the camp. And that's just kind of how it goes. And it goes word of mouth. And they love coming here. And it just continues to spread. Like I said, have guys calling. I talked to Raekwon McMillan yesterday. Andrew Massey sends me a video clip yesterday of him working with Raekwon at this camp 8 years ago. And I sent it to Raekwon and I said, hey, impact you make that you don't realize. This kid was with you 8 years ago in this clip. And now this kid was our region defensive player of the year, All-State, has 10 D1 offers. And a lot of that has to do with you working with him at camp. And, Raekwon was kind of taken back by that. And he was like, wow, that's absolutely incredible. And then he pivoted it and he said, I saw you got Peyton Pierce coming. And I was like, yeah. And Riley Pettijohn, who's wearing your number 5. And he said, I might have to sneak up there for a day and see those guys. So like I said, it just goes kind of wildfire and it's a great opportunity to come see these guys and work with them. And like I said, I think we only bring, the cream of the crop. And I know Marcus and Wes, you guys have been out there a lot. Justin, you got a million things going on. It's hard for you to get out there, but it's just, those guys are so good at working with kids and they have a good time. And, and I love the fact that kids can watch the NFL draft and know they were hanging out with Jeremiah Love 2 years ago.
I know.
And he goes 3rd overall in the draft and signs a $51 million contract, and and they see that they know that those kids were here. And I think that's special for all of Beaufort County, for all of the Low Country.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Absolutely.
It's a super cool thing that you've pulled off for sure. And like you said, it just kind of takes on a life of its own. Now it sells itself. These guys go back and they talk about how much fun they had, and everybody wants to come.
And the kids, they a lot of these kids know these guys. I mean, they follow football. Yeah. They know ball.
Well,
they love it.
Oh, for sure.
No, I was going to say, you say it sells itself.
Right.
This year, I think, was the highest number of registrants we had without even announcing the lineup.
Wow.
Whoa.
Like, we hadn't even set the like, we had just put out, like, the rec center put up, like, the registration link. And there was like 40 or 50 kids already signed up because they know what we're going to bring.
They've been refreshing, looking for it.
They know it's like Christmas. Who's coming? And then, I do the social media leaks, and then all the kids have come into camp in the past. I'll do special surprises here and there and add some things. But yeah, like I said, record number this year of kids who signed up, not even knowing who was coming to the camp because, like I said, I think we've built something pretty special here to where they know that that we're gonna have a loaded lineup every year.
I hate to bring this question up, but I feel like I have to, especially for everybody that is going to be out there. You said it's going to be crazy. I bet Wes is going to be there. Kevin Libby and I are going to be out there likely on Saturday.
I know that Marcus Walsh is not about to bring up. I know he's not going to bring up weather.
Yeah. Well,
are there any thoughts on like a backup plan, whatnot? It looks kind of spotty all weekend, unfortunately.
So here's the great thing, right? Is that you don't know what the weather is going to be until Friday afternoon.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
Because literally 3 days ago it was 75 and sunny every day. Yeah. Then it was going to rain heavy Friday. Like then it was going to rain heavy Friday, Saturday. Now I just looked at it before I came on. It looks like Friday is good. Saturday and Sunday is going to be in the afternoon.
I mean,
my biggest concern was the fact that all these guys fly in Friday, and they fly into Hilton Head. And, that airport can be a little iffy with the weather. But
yes,
but no, we do have a contingent. We're going to have the camp. A couple of years ago, we had to go into the gym. We turned it into a Q&A. The guys put on a dunk contest. That's when Jeremiah Love jumped over 4 guys and dunked. And which I'm like, what are you doing? Are you trying to get Marcus to physically fight me? Like, he's going to kill me. And he was in slides.
Oh no!
Yeah, it was.
Oh, my ACLs were quivering.
Right. So, but no, we do have backup plans, and if we need to do that, we'll release it to them and we'll release it to the media. But we plan to go. We tell our kids all the time, like, and I know it's a little bit different mentality with high school, but we tell our kids all the time, like, we don't cancel practice. We might go indoors. We might alternate some things. We might move some things around, but we don't cancel activities. So I always make that clear to our high school kids when they're coming up, especially from the middle school. Like, we don't cancel practice. Like, if it's lightning, we'll come inside. But if it's raining, we're going to get wet. I mean, the trees are getting wet. So can we.
That's right.
And I can't. Here's the other thing, right?
We can't turn around. Ashley Powell says it's not going to rain at May River.
We can't turn around. We can't turn around and fly those guys back next weekend. You know what I mean? So we will make the most of it. And I jokingly told somebody,
if you did though,
I told somebody the other day. I said if we have to spend 20 minutes with 150 kids in a circle with Jalen Sneed reading a Dr. Seuss book in the middle of them, we're going to do it. But we will find a way. We'll persevere and we'll get through it. It's just part of that beautiful turf we have, doesn't hold any water, and so we'll be good to go.
There you go. But speaking of loaded lineups, how about this lineup, brother? Whew! You biting off a good one with that non-conference schedule. We got it's South Florence is one of state.
Well, one of those is not right. The new graphic we we are no longer playing Hardyville in 918. We are playing Camden.
Oh,
Okay.
ooh, my.
That's switched up, huh?
That is
Oh my
a-
God, that's
Well,
even tough.
it wasn't. I mean, honestly, I understood. Biff gave me a call last week. We had a great conversation, and it wasn't anything really either one of us, wanted to do,
Right.
but he talked about how young they're going to be. And
Very.
when we played them last year, this isn't a pat on the back to ourselves or anything, but they got a couple guys banged up against us. And he just didn't want to do that week 5 heading into region. So all of a sudden, I thought we were going to be without a game. And then luckily, we posted it. And, don't know if I wanted Camden to be the one responding, but that's who responded. And we needed a game. We could have had a second bye week, but I thought about it. I talked with our offense coordinator, Coach Whitlow, and we were like, look, we don't. First of all, we want to compete, but secondly, we don't ever want to rob our seniors or even our underclassmen of game film.
Yep.
Right.
You never know where that could be a game where somebody goes off for 20 tackles or somebody has 8 catches for 200 yards. So as far as when we talked about earlier what the why is, that's like that works into that. So we start with South Florence. I think every single one of these teams has won a state title in the last 3 years.
That's what I was going to say. South Florence, Bamberg, Rock Hill, Christchurch, and Camden. Those are all state championship caliber programs.
Yeah. So starting off with South Florence, obviously they've been to the 4A state finals the last 4 years, winning 2 of them. Go to Bamberg. Love coach there. He's awesome. He was like, hey, I want to play. But the only thing I might ask is, we won the state title last year. We were 15-0. I returned 20 of my 22 starters. I'm just going to ask that you come to us year 1. And I told him, I said, Coach, I've never been to your place, but I got a feeling I got a really good idea. It probably seats 1,500. There's going to be 5,000 people there. And it's going to be standing room only. I'm in all day on that.
Oh, yeah.
So, go to play them, state champs last year, turn around and play Rock Hill, who's a huge 5A school. Not only are they a huge 5A school, but if you follow things on social media, I think they've got like 9 transfers that have come in, including like 4 or 5 from South Point. And then we get to make that beautiful drive to Greenville. This is all the high school league's fault, by the way. And I'll say it out loud. What are they going to fine me? $25. If they just would have put us in 3A where our numbers say we are, our region would have been Charleston region, and then our non-region games would have been Team Over the Bridge, May River, Beaufort, Colleton. Those would have been our non-region games. But we get to make that nice trip to Greenville, and then we come back with Camden. So, we got 3 games between Christchurch, Rock Hill, and Camden. 3 away games over the next 2 years, 1 this year and 2 next year, that are 3.5, 4-hour drives. So, thank you, high school league. But it's a competition. We try to do our schedule as normal. We really, really had a tough time filling our schedule. I think the expectation, not only that we have for our team, but amongst a lot of people, is what they expect us to be. And we returned 19 of 22 starters. But I kept trying to tell people during the process, like, that's great, but don't forget, we signed 2-year contracts. The year after that, we're going to have 20 new starters. So it was not, I don't know what at South Florence week 1 in the 27 season might look like.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
For whoever's here when me and Marcus leave. But no, let me just go back and say, yeah, by the way, I'm not going anywhere. I just had
Me neither, Coach.
I heard a school was using that in a pitch that I was leaving, but I always laugh because I'm like, well, that's funny. Where am I going this time? Because I've been leaving here every year for 15 years.
I think the latest one that I laughed at was that you're just wait until Sneed's gone, and then Marcus Freeman's going to add you to his staff.
The funny thing is that 5 years ago, that was me and Steve were going as a package deal. And then it was after Steve gets his feet wet for 1 year, then I'm going there. And it's like, every single year, somebody says I'm going somewhere. I was going back to Ohio. I was going back to Massillon. I was going here. I was going to Notre Dame, but I'm not going anywhere. So,
you're living your best life, brother.
Yeah, man. Well, I mean, I'm not going anywhere because if I go anywhere else, then a lot of things would change, and I wouldn't be able to go to WrestleManias, and it'd be different.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
I'm like, I always say I'm the biggest extrovert introvert in the world. Like, as you guys know, I'm very outgoing. I could talk for hours. I can hold court. I can do this. I like to have fun. But man, when I'm done with the school day, like I come home and I'm with my wife and my kids, and this is what I do.
Where it has to be.
Yeah.
I mean, it's what I do. Like I sit down and watch games with Cassius, and this is what we do. And King's outside jumping off of something. We're just hoping he's coming in without a cast on every night.
There's nothing that beats being a father and being a husband, and just those experiences you can't. I mean, replicate. Those are important. Those are very, very important.
The best.
And by the way, since we're talking about it, and we're talking about just everything, I don't know if I'll be on the podcast in the next month or not again. But Tour de Pain this year.
Yeah.
Let me just touch base on that.
We had
the biggest
about that earlier. Is it the best recruitment tool in the high school league?
The biggest and longest Tour de Pain in the history of Tour de Pain. So we are going to do 9 different camps. We're going like 12 or 13 days. But Old Dominion, Liberty, Eastern Kentucky, Marshall, West Virginia, Ohio State, Kentucky, Jacksonville State. And I'm missing Virginia Tech. It's nine total camps. And I sat down with our senior class. It's a little bit longer than usual, but we also have, in reality, more talent than usual. And I want each and every one of these kids to have their opportunities to continue on to play at the college level. So I sat down with that whole crew and I said, look, if we do this, what is the exact, what's the best camp schedule for you guys? And they're like, Coach, do 2, and then we need a rest day. Then we'll be healthy. Perfect. So it's 9 camps. We're 2 a rest day, 2 a rest day, 2 a rest day. Then we end with 3. We get back on a Thursday. They got all weekend to recover, and then we're full blown into summer. But with the number of guys that we have that are recruitable, I want as many eyes on them as possible. Obviously, we're going to have it in the spring. Friday, we had 4 college coaches there. D1 schools there. And then, I don't even know is today Tuesday? All right. So Monday we had 2 there. So, as many college coaches as we can get in to see our guys and then take our guys to be seen by college coaches is the best. And like I said, it's the longest and the biggest stretch we've ever done, but these kids deserve it and they need it.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. We love what you do. Big fans. Keep it up, and I'm going to try to get out there this weekend if I can. So, and it looks promising that I'm going to be able to get out there this weekend. So, but no, good stuff, man, and best of luck this weekend. And we'll hope for the best on the front that Marcus brought up. I
appreciate you guys. Yeah, let's not. Marcus tried to jinx us there. I got to get up at 4:30. We do spring ball in the morning before school, so we got to get after it.
Yikes! Yeah,
got to get after it.
Yep.
Appreciate
those guys coming. Hey, that's a great thing about this class, man. They come in energy. I mean, I'm half asleep, and it's like 5:30. They're rolling the locker room. They got the speakers blaring. Massey's staring at me like a serial killer, and I got other guys dancing, and it's a very unique environment.
No doubt.
Well, get your rest, and we'll see you real soon.
All right, guys. Appreciate
you
guys.
Weekend, Coach.
All right, thanks, guys.
Man, take care. That's BJ Payne, the one and only BJ Payne.
Love talking to that guy.
It was a fantastic interview, one of the best every time, and just to see where that All-American football camp has gone. Just the full story, hearing that it's started all the way in Ohio, and he's just built it and grown it every single year.
Yep.
I mean, and the numbers say it all in terms of the kids that have already registered. Even before they have revealed all of the camp counselors, it has become quite the spectacle every year, and these kids absolutely love every minute of it. And just hoping everything goes smoothly this weekend. I'm sure it will, and it should be another memorable couple of days for so many young boys and girls who will be taking part of this.
Yeah, and there'll probably be more and more girls, especially this year, because flag football coming to Beaufort County in the fall and other locales.
Big time.
All right. Well, let's you've seen all the scores going on the bottom. If that's what you came here for, you saw the scores, unless it was Loris at Battery Creek girls soccer. If that was what you were looking for, we don't have that one. But we got or Marlboro Academy at Cross boys soccer. We don't have that one either. But we got all the rest of them going across the bottom. But we'll talk through them as well. Starting on the soccer side, you saw the Seahawks West roll to a 10-0 rout over Wilson, about what we expected in that first round.
I totally forgot that the new rules in the high school league that I'd mentioned a couple of weeks ago. But the game will end if a team is up by 10 or more, or 10 goals in the second half. Yep.
Great rule. Great rule.
Yes.
Should have been in place a long time ago.
Yeah,
Love
I agree.
But good showing for the region. Bluffton also mercy ruled Hartsville 10-0. May River with a tough 2-1 win over North Augusta. Colleton County was the only one that lost, but great for Colleton County to be in the playoffs this year. Great sign for their program. They lost 6-0 to a really good Gray Collegiate team. So 3 Loco teams moving on in the 4A bracket. We are still looking for Loris Battery Creek. And then 2A, 1A, Bridges Prep 10-0 Ridgeland.
Yep.
And Hampton
beat
like Horse Creek.
You can't. You in order to tell the full picture, you have to talk about the other games in the bracket. And I'm looking up the one between South Aiken, because that's an important game to determine if they'll have to go on the road over there, which I assume they would win, but no guarantees in a single elimination soccer playoff. Gremlins are making this a slow find, but keep talking. So, 9-0 South Aiken. So they'll have to travel to South Aiken. What should be it should be a tight and interesting match in the second round coming up, I believe, on Friday. Is when this next match will be Friday or Saturday. Yes, Friday the 8th of May. Hilton Head will be.
And then how about South Florence Lakewood? Do we got that one? Winner gets Bluffton.
Looking up right now.
May River will play Gray Collegiate. They'll have to travel to Gray Collegiate. And you said Hilton Head, South Aiken?
Hilton Head will travel to South Aiken, the 4 against the 5 seed in that bracket. And as well, let's see here. South Florence, 10-0. Another mercy rule win this time for the Bruins. And so, South Florence, the dominant win over Lakewood. So no surprise in any of those matches.
Yep. All right. South Florence. So Bobcats against South Florence. We had a lot of history with South Florence already, and we added some chapters to it tonight.
Cody Slaughter, the former AD over there, now at Beaufort.
Yeah, coming to Beaufort, Bluffton to South Florence to Beaufort. Bamberg before that. He's a Bamberg guy originally. But no, we had a little more drama with them tonight. South Florence softball beating Bluffton 8-0, but May River baseball walking off South Florence 3-2, down 2-0, going to the 7th, and they scored 3. Let me pull it up. Jordan Reed walked to start it. I know that, and then somebody else walked.
How about 2 walk-offs in one night in the 4A Loco?
Right.
With
impressive.
May River and Hilton.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yep.
Jordan Reed walked, then Micah Morgan walked. They both stole a base, I guess. I don't know how they got it. No, they didn't. They didn't steal a base, but then Talon Putnam, do the Chickens have large talons? Putnam with the RBI single, and that made it 2-1. And then Beckman with the ground out to score another run that was tied up. And then the catcher, Aiden Michaud, he's had such a great year. And he came up with the walk-off single up the middle to give the Sharks a 3-2 win. And they stay undefeated and will await the Bluffton South Florence winner in the district final. So good stuff.
Wouldn't that be something if the Bobcats can stun the South Florence Bruins? But heck of a job, comeback effort from this. It's not out of the.
Yeah, heck of a comeback, and Bobcats bounced right back from a tough loss to South Florence last night. They played them pretty good. What was the score of that? I don't remember. But tonight they play. Oh yeah, 4-0. Played them pretty tough. But tonight, Darlington Bobcats in control from the jump. They scored 3 in the first.
The district, the district championship.
4 in the fourth.
What you had to do, you had to have played the second game. What I was trying to say was that if the first game, if the team with one loss won it, then with that forced a deciding seventh game, they would play it right after. Now that game wouldn't be played until Monday.
Yep.
So.
Yep. Sorry, I think I was cutting out for a second. I might have talked over you because I didn't.
No, I was clarifying because there were a lot of years where it was you played both.
Right. It used to be they played them back to back. That's a new change, and it may not be universal. It may be in some classifications and not all. I'm not positive. That does happen sometimes.
And also the better seed we host. So obviously, Mayo would be the best seed. So that that would be a case if, say, a lower seed got to the final,
right?
And they lost, better seed we host. The second, of course, May River would.
So May River would host regardless. Yeah. They'll be at home throughout, no matter what. Now throughout the district.
That is true.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
Just clarifying that, but terrific comeback win from the Sharks. What a season that they have had. I mean, just unflinching in big situations, and credit that coaching staff, credit these kids, man. They are scrappy and they are going to battle you till the very end. But I sent you. I'm not sure if you showed it earlier in the podcast.
I have not.
Zeben's walk off. We'll have to take a look at that.
You'll have to give me a minute, but I'll get it over to my computer.
This was. Yeah, I did not see it coming. 2 outs, and they just couldn't quite find a way to put those. It just seemed like they were really struggling late in that game, and they were able to get a couple of base runners on. One was via a hit by pitch, the other was an error on a fielder's choice. So they, Lakewood gifted them a couple of base runners, and Zeben cashed in on just a beautiful swing over the left.
There he is. Send him. Get in there, buddy. Woo! There we go.
Fantastic.
Gotta love a
especially
bobbing at third base.
Yeah. Especially when it's a senior in what could be his last ever home game. We would live with the walk-off there.
It's awesome.
Yep.
Unbelievable stuff. Love it. That's why we love what we love.
Yes.
And what we do. Good stuff. Yep. So yeah, huge night for those teams, May River and Hilton Head and Bluffton, all winning their baseball elimination games. Swansea dominated Battery Creek 20-0 in 3A. Bridges Prep 21-0 over Mullins, and Andrews 16-1 over Hampton County. Palmetto Scholars 17-6 over Hardyville. So I look forward to the contraction of the playoffs next year that is coming. There's going to be a fairly significant contraction of the playoffs next year, much less other than first and second place in regions. That's only going to be the only guaranteed spots. Everything else is going to be RPI based at larges across all classifications, and it's going to be better. It's going to be a lot better. We're going to have way less of these 20-0 and 21-0 baseball games and 56-0 football games in the first round that just don't make sense.
I mean that's obviously the right decision by the high school league because there's it's tough for the team that has to come there, traveling several hours, and then you just know there are certain we've seen upsets before. They're very rare, and it doesn't make too much sense for a team to go all the way there and to have a game that could get out of hand quickly. So
right. Yeah,
and
and usually the team that's getting beat like that in the playoffs isn't really.
And that's the regular season. That's the point of the regular season, is to decide those spots. So.
Right. Yeah. And that's coming as a coach of a team that is in the playoffs by default. And, we're going to give them hell. We're excited about it, but it's going to be an uphill climb for us. I don't know that we deserve to be in the playoffs necessarily, but we are. We don't make the rules. We just play the games.
Yep.
Over on Softball Diamond tonight, we had some regular season Skiza games. Their tournaments this weekend. JP2 9-0 over Carleton Prep. That's an impressive win for them.
Ooh, wow.
And Cross took a doubleheader off Thomas Hayward, 16-5 and 21-10. And then 4A playoffs getting started. May River 13-5 over Lakewood. Colleton County 10-9 over Airport. So the Cougars will come to the tank, where they've already been once this year, to take on May River again. And they played each other in the playoffs last year too, so they've seen a lot of each other. South Florence 8-0 over Bluffton, and North Augusta 8-5 over Beaufort. Tough game. Eagles gave them hell, but came up short. And then in 3A, Dillon 8, Battery Creek 0. So that's all your. Oh, and then there's one big thing I missed. I didn't finish telling you. 2A, 1A boys or girls. Bridges Prep 10-0 Mercy Rule on Ridgeland. Hampton County 4-0 over Horse Creek. I'll have to look it up, but Hampton County boys and girls both won first-round games in the soccer playoffs. I'd be interested to know when the last time a team from Hampton County did that. Both of them went in, either Wade Hampton or Hampton. I don't think Estill ever had soccer. So, but it's not been a soccer hotbed, so that's really cool for them. And same for Battery Creek. The guys won a playoff game last night, second year in a row, after not winning one since 2019. And the girls were trying to win tonight for the first time since 2019 in the playoffs. So cool to see those, programs that haven't had a lot of success starting to break through. So always good. And then sadly, lacrosse season has come to a close, much like May River last night. Hilton Head didn't have it tonight, and Oceanside dominating the Hilton Head girls 18-2. So Seahawks make it to the semis and then run into the buzzsaw. I look forward to there being I guess they're not going to be able to get away from Oceanside, are they?
No.
Like classification wise.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking maybe when they go to more classifications, but I don't know. That probably wouldn't help, because they might. I don't know. Oceanside would be in 3A, 3A, 2A, 1A, just dominating those people. That doesn't make sense. We got to do whatever. What was the state that just said they're kicking them all out of the league? They said just go play in your own league. Charter schools and private schools. We're not doing it anymore. I liked it. I think it's a good move. But that's all that was happening tonight. So we mostly got to talk to BJ Payne tonight. Great talking with him. Be sure to check out that camp this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, out at Hilton Head High School, All-American football camp. Coolest thing going. Shout out to Hudson Seafood House on the Docks, presenting sponsor of Under the Bus. We had a new episode tonight. The guys were hilarious as usual, and really enjoyed listening to Curry Kirkpatrick, Bob Stevens, and Rich Basirico ranting about sports. So check that out on the Loco Media Network, and check out Hudson Seafood House on the Docks. Great place for seafood, sunsets, and cocktails on Hilton Head Island. If you need a personal injury attorney, call on Twingen Twombly in Beaufort. They've got a rare name. They provide remarkable service at Twingen Twombly. And if you need to improve your view of the Loco, need some windows and doors, HHI Windows and Doors wants to improve your view of the Loco. That's our friend Coach Barron from Hilton Head Prep. Hung up the whistle, focused on a new kind of screens, and you can catch him on WHHI TV from time to time as well.
Indeed. Your view to the Low Country.
There you go. And if you need a haircut or not, head over to Ridgeland, check out Jay's Barbershop. Great place to hang out, catch up on the conversation, and get your ears lowered. And our official wrestling sponsor, presenting sponsor of the Lowco Grind, is Reverence Wrestling Club. So if you want to take your skills on the mat to the next level this year, go to Reverence Wrestling Club. And speaking, I'm going to lead off the parting thoughts right here because it's a segue, a nice segue.
Yes.
I want to give a little shout out, as we have given many this season, the last couple of years, in fact, to the May River Wrestling Program, two-time state champs now, back-to-back state champs. And I wanted to pull up this photo if I can get to it. There's a lot of them on his social media now. Here we go. Coach Powell got a lot of. Coach Powell checked in with us earlier to Raz BJ Payne, but here we go. The May River Wrestlers, the state champs, honored at the State House today. There they are, hanging out in the State House quarters. Pretty cool. And Powell had some honor and photos,
privilege
out on the,
awesome.
Yeah, super cool, out on the steps.
Very nice.
I guess that's Jeff Bradley, looks like, who they got some love from the assembly. And here's another cool note. Coach Powell, every time we talk to him, he talks about the bond, and it's pretty cool. I saw him put out earlier that he was looking for somebody to deliver some pizzas. He said, we'll pay for the pizza, but can you just bring them to the State House for us? So he put out the call, and this fella, Scott Turbeville, who he coached with at Westwood, where all those May River guys were before they came down here. He picked up the bill and the pizza, and they hadn't seen each other in 10 years. He brought it over and hooked the boys up. And since they're out of season, they got to eat the pizza.
Yeah.
So
great day. That's right
to our wrestlers.
Oh, yeah.
Great day.
Oh, yeah. Dig into that pizza.
No doubt.
Deserved.
Have an extra slice, boys.
Yes.
If I think of another one, I'll do it at the end. But now I throw it over to you, Marcus, for our parting thoughts.
Starting off, I was curious about this and did see just a few minutes ago that the Detroit Pistons beat the Cleveland Cavaliers 111-101 in Game 1 of the Eastern Conference semifinals. And currently I've got the OKC LA game going on, and it's 96-79 OKC all over the Lakers. One other May River note is that they have their signing day on Thursday, and definitely look to bring coverage to you all for that one way or another at WHHI in the coming days. So check out that. And that's what I got for tonight.
All right. Wes Kerr, what you got, buddy?
Yeah. Got a couple starting on the Lowco scene. I mentioned him a couple times this year, but we have a couple, not just one, but two members of the Southern Athletic Association of Baseball All-Conference Awards. One of them who we've talked a lot about, Brad Larson, has had a tremendous season. Was named to the first team outfield, all-conference, terrific season for Brad. As I pull up the stats right now, 373 average. He drove in 41 runs, 7 home runs, slugged 571. Terrific year at the plate. OPS over 1,000. So, oh my God, he has really shined at this level with the Rhodes Link. So big congratulations to him, and also
incredible.
Yes, and also congratulations to Jackson Stanyard, who also was named to the first team for Hilton Prep Dolphin in relief duty this year. Stanyard, a 2-0 record. He appeared in 13 games, a 3.31 ERA, struck out 40, walked just 9. Incredible consistency this year from Jackson Stanyard. So congratulations to both those young men. Good to see the Rhodes College squad represented by a bunch of Lowco standouts. So
truly,
props.
I mean, like, those are two guys who really they won the game. Like, that's where you want to end up at a place like that.
Yeah.
Rhodes is a legitimate academic institution,
Oh,
and
yeah.
those guys are getting an opportunity to not only play but contribute in a big way and be a part of something cool. So super cool that 2 kids from Hilton Head both wound up on that roster, but hopefully not the last. Hopefully get some more local talents getting opportunities up there.
Yeah, fantastic. Good to see that. And then it's been a rough start for the Red Sox, but they've been finding some form recently. They got another win tonight over Detroit, but the big story was the benches cleared in the game after Framber Valdez hit Trevor Story with a pitch. Right after Contreras and Wilyer Abreu both went deep with back-to-back home runs. A very rough outing for Framber Valdez, who did not have a good time of it tonight, and the anger certainly showed the inconsistencies with him on the mound as he hit Trevor Story right in the back with a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. So, and then the benches cleared after that. Even the bullpen, some of the guys in the bullpen cleared out in the 4th inning of this game. But Framber Valdez, who at one point was having a pretty nice career, but he has had his share of struggles and definitely didn't look at the part tonight. But good to see Boston gaining some momentum. Still very early in the season. The Phillies have started to get on the right track as well. They won 9-1 over the A's, and Philadelphia is starting to gain some traction as we move deeper into the season. But long way to go. But the Phillies are starting to put some wins together, and now they're just 16-20. Now they're still 9 games back of the Atlanta Braves, but like I said, still May the 5th, and there's a lot of baseball left. And both those teams made changes. If you remember, the Red Sox, of course, got rid of Alex Cora, and the Phillies also got rid of their man in the bench. So
Rob Thompson.
Thompson. Yep.
Yeah. So Red Sox 6-4 in their last 10, trending upwards, and Philadelphia, as I mentioned, 8-2 in their last 10 games. So could we see the impact of these early season changes? Could they benefit these 2 teams and maybe put them back in contention as the season goes on?
Time will tell.
Yeah, we shall see. But I know this: the Chicago Cubs have won by a walk-off on the 2nd day in a row after Michael Bush with a chopper up the middle to score Dansby Swanson, and the Cubs win it 3-2 in 10 innings over the Reds.
Nice.
So tremendous. It is really shaping up to be a nice season for the Chicago Cubs thus far. 24-12 now.
Division still over 500.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy work. Yeah, Milwaukee's 18-16 in last place.
Yeah.
Crazy. Figure.
Wow.
But only 5 games back, too. So
I know.
That's a loaded division.
It's going to be a fun summer in that division for sure.
In that division for sure. Yeah, and also, by the way, I got to see Karn Majinski on the mound in what was an absolutely wild game by the Pirates. I think they tied the record in Major League Baseball with like 7 walks in a row.
Gee.
Wow.
Yeah.
Goodness.
Yes, the Reds, in the bad way, tied the Major League Baseball record by walking 7 straight batters in a 17-7 game.
Oh, yeah, that game.
Won.
Yeah.
I believe that game Majinski started. Yeah. So
I think you're right.
Yeah.
All right. So I gave you that one about the Sharks. I got another local one because I remembered this. You guys recognize this lad? This is from the boy, they grow up fast department. Do you recognize this fellow? Surely not. But you knew him a few years back. Luke Foley of Hilton Head Prep baseball fame. He was at Erskine for a couple of years, and then he transferred to West Liberty, and he's finishing it up. Senior day. Luke Foley.
Cow.
Very, very quickly.
Sure
it seems like he was just pitching for Hilton Head Prep, right?
Yeah.
I mean, just a few days ago.
Standing over there at
but here we go. This is him on third base. He's on third base. Tie ball game, bottom of the 9th. Wild pitch.
There he goes.
Here comes Luke Foley. Woo!
How about that?
Love it.
Gotta love it. What a
Never
great
hide.
memory on his senior. I mean, nothing better than that
Yeah.
scoring the winning run on his senior.
Look at him. Look at him mobbing him. Yeah, incredible stuff. That's what it's all about, man. That's what it's all about right there. He was a tremendous player at Hilton Head Prep. Looked like he kind of fought to get on the field a little bit at West Liberty, but got a great opportunity, there to score the winning run. So cool stuff. With that, I think we can call it.
Great show, by the way.
Really good stuff. Yeah. A lot of stuff to talk about, a lot of stuff to cover, and always great to have BJ
before we get off,
I
would just and before we wrap up, let's take a look and see what we have tomorrow.
That's a good call.
Loaded slate up, including some boys soccer matches. We got Hilton Head.
Got May River at home against Aiken, Hilton Head at home against Brooklyn Casey, and Bluffton at North Augusta.
And then the most anticipated baseball game of the year, at least to this point. Hilton Head Christkemi, Augusta Christian, the rematch tomorrow night.
After a 1-0 duel the other night. And it's very likely we can see a similar pitching matchup. So we'll see. We'll see who Hilton Head Christian rolls out. They might go back over to Sparger. They got a lot of options at their disposal. So
that's the benefit.
Doesn't have it. They can go to the next guy.
This point is that you got a bunch of guys at your disposal. You can decide on whether you want to decide on who you want to pitch. So they've got a very favorable and enviable situation to be in. But all the same, this is your only chance to win at home, because if you lose, you have to go
neutral
back on the road.
And all the momentum swings the other way. Right. So Hilton Head Prep on the other side of that, they got to go to Williamsburg tomorrow, and they need to win to force the if game. And then girls soccer Skiza semifinals, Hilton Head Prep hosting Christian Academy in Myrtle Beach, and Buford Academy traveling to Cambridge Academy. So a little bit lighter schedule tomorrow, although we may have some games. But some very impactful.
Marcus, are you going to Christian Academy?
And we're missing some because we got a softball game tomorrow. 1A softball starts tomorrow too. Hardyville hosting Palmetto Scholars.
Yes,
I know Max is going to be there for sure. I may. I'm kind of a little bit more of a game time
decision because I have a couple other things always busy with stuff. So
he said he will be there tomorrow.
He told me he will definitely be there tomorrow.
Okay. Great.
He's on the record on the group chat.
On the chat.
He couldn't make it tonight, but he will be at HHCA tomorrow. So we'll look forward to his report from that. And I will probably, if my game ends in time, I'm probably popping by there on my way home, if I'm being real. So, all right, boys, good stuff tonight. Thanks so much to BJ Payne for joining us and for everything he does for this community and for the kids in particular in this community. Thanks so much to all of our sponsors for allowing us to get in here and do this and supporting what we do. And thanks to all of you for showing up to listen or watch. For Marcus Walsh and Wes Kerr, I'm Justin Jarrett. Until next time, go Loco.